Back again, OneStopTutorials.com. My name is Ali Baba, and here we are with the Shape Tool. Now, I'm going to show you the difference between the Shape Tool and the Marquee Tool, okay? And then I'm going to go over exactly what the Shape Tools do and how you can modify them. Now, if we were to draw a rectangle in the Shape Tool, we simply just drag and click, okay? And that makes us a square. Now, what's the difference if we were to do this in the Marquee Tool? Okay, I'm just going to quickly make a new layer and drag and drop, okay, and then I'm going to paint it in fact, let's keep it the same color. I'll paint it in with the background, the foreground color. So, the first one here is the Shape Tool, the second one is the Marquee Tool. Now, what is the difference? Well, the difference is that if we wanted to select this Marquee Tool, as you can see, it doesn't let us. Even if I come onto this layer, it doesn't let us because it's telling us there is no vector mask. Here it is, could not select a layer because the point you clicked on is not inside the vector mask, okay? Which basically means that we can't actually modify that. But if we do it with this one, you see that we get these points. And what does that mean? Well, that means now we could come in with the pen tool. We could come in and we could modify this to any shape that we wanted. We could add an anchor point. Let me zoom out just a little bit. We could hold down Control and modify the actual shape of it. Okay, we could make it into some form of like banner. Okay, so we have so much more freedom. We can add anchor points wherever we want, so we can distort it even more. We can take away anchor points by hovering over it. It just gives us so much more freedom, and it's really good to get used to. Okay, so now we sort of have an understanding what the difference is. Now let's explain what they do. The first one is the rectangular tool, which is simply a drag and click. Okay, you can take away any part of this by holding down Alt on your keyboard, simply dragging and clicking again. In fact, let me hold down, okay, and it takes it away. You'd be able to see it better if you went to the Paths channel and held down Control and clicked on the icon. You'll see that we've taken it away. Okay, and then you can do the opposite by holding down Shift. Let me get rid of that one. Holding down Shift and adding to it. And again, if we went to the Paths panel, held down Control, clicked on the icon, you see that we've actually added to it. Okay, so just like the Marquee Tool, that allows you to do that. So what else have we got? We've got a different shape. Okay, so we got a rounded rectangle. Now what this means is if I had this set to 1 pixel, it would basically just make a square. Okay, if I made this, let's say 20, it would make a square, but it would give it the 20 pixel radius around the corner. So you're making more like a sort of not square with corners on it. Very handy indeed, because we could come in with the selection tool, we could grab those points, and again we could modify it. So let's go back to the tool. Then you've got your normal elliptical. Again, when dragging, if you hold down Shift, it makes it into a perfect circle. There's your normal circle. And then we got our polygon. Now the way the polygon works is it has to have more than 3 sides. So we could collect this to 3 sides, and we can drag, and we can make like this aeroplane look. We could add it to 15 sides, where we get more of this sort of flowery look. And that is it's exactly the same tool, but we're just modifying how many sides the polygon should have. Okay, and then you have your other tools here, which is exactly like we were saying a minute ago. You know, when you make a selection, if you hold down Alt, it takes it away. If you hold down Shift, it adds it. Okay, that's what these are up here. This first one is create the shape. This is to add. This is to take away. This is to make that intersect, so you can take away. So if we had this and then we held down Shift and Control, it would just take it away. And then with this as well, which I really like, if I was to go back to the rectangular tool, okay, and make a square. Now what I can do now with this is I can make a style. Okay, so your style sheet's up here, where I can make funky things happen with different styles. You know, really good stuff. If you want to load up a style, simply use this arrow here, and these are the styles that you have. Maybe you don't have. You can always go to Google, type in styles, Photoshop, and you can probably download a lot. Again, like all of them, you can make larger icons, smaller icons, and stuff like that. I'm going to keep it as small. And then the last thing is you can change the color of them. Okay, so this one here is, so let's not add any style at all. So no style, which is good. I'm going to quickly delete all of these. Just simply click on the top one, shift, and then drag. And we're going to go into this tool here. Now this is the custom. This is the custom tool, where you have a choice of many different types of shapes pre-made. Again, you can click on this arrow and you can load them up. And again, you can go to Google and download them. So let's take the light bulb. Okay, we're just gonna, wait a minute. We need to go to this box and explain this first. Now at the moment, this is set up. So if I go to unconstrained, this is set up to take it from the center. So when I drag, it drags out from the center. If I unclick that box, I can drag out and start from any corner that I want to start. Okay, and there is your perfect shape light bulb. You can also make a fixed size where, let's say if we had 25 pixels by 25, it would just make this monster. Wow. Well, this is in inches, this isn't in pixels. Okay, let's see if we can add pixels to the end. I'm not sure why it's coming up in inches. Yep, there we go. We just simply add px at the end, and it's going to make you 25 pixel light bulbs all the way around. So really good. And let's say one more time before we go, let's say we made a let's get rid of this layer. Let's go back to the bog standard rectangular, and yep, unconstrained. Let's say we made a square, and then we came in and we modified this square with the pen tool. We add some anchor points, holding down control. We just modify it out a bit, and say we like this and we want to add this. Okay, all we need to do is go to the shapes, simply with the pen tool selected, simply right click and then define custom shape. So when we click on that and we name it, let's name it shape 1. Okay, when you go to your shape palette up the top here, you will find that that shape has been added to your shapes panel. And very simple, if you want to get rid of it, you just simply hit delete, right click and delete, and that will get rid of it from there. Let me show you that again, because I did that a little bit faster. So I make my shape, I highlight it with the selection tool, I go back to the pen tool, and if you hover over the line with the pen tool, it has a plus sign. That means add an anchor point. So I add it by holding down control and dragging it and making it into my shape. Now if I hover over the edge of the line that goes all the way around the shape, if I hover over it and I right click on my mouse, it comes up to define custom shape, and that's where I went before. I just had a feeling I did it a little bit too fast. So you can see the power of shapes. You can make any shape, you can save the shapes, you can bring them out again. It's just a really good tool to get into, and really good fun. Okay, and then just play around with it. This is the rubber band setting, but this is set for the pen tool. If you didn't have the rubber band setting on, you notice that you wouldn't be able to, it doesn't automatically bring it round for you, considering if you had it on, when I click and drag, it offers me that doing, doing, doing rubber band look. Yeah, doing. Okay, so that's all the rubber band is. That's more to do with the pen tool. So I hope you get a general understanding. So click which one you want and just simply play around with it, modify it, and then add it to your shape panel, and you'll be able to do some funky stuff. It's just a quick tutorial showing you how to use the basic shape tool. We'll get into it more when we get some good fun funky projects on the go. Subscribe to my YouTube or leave your comments below. Any questions, any single question that you might have and you don't understand, you send it to me and I'll do my best to answer it. Take it easy, guys and girls. OneStopTutorials.com. Checking out. Laters.